Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Dice, and witness the brutality as we talk about Rob Zombie's Halloween. So, without further ado, let's get it. Check it out.
Primitive masks. It is the rare occasion that he will allow himself to be seen without one of these. Only during the weekly visits from his mother does he show brief glimpses of the boy he once may have been.
Now, as a lover of the Halloween franchise, I will get to the last two films, but I already talked about Michael from the first and second film. As you can see, I even have a figure of Michael from the second film, my personal favorite. And of course, Jason's one of my other favorite slashers, along with Freddy and them. But yeah, we're not here to talk about Halloween 2 or Halloween 1 or anything involved with that, or any of the knives or whatever that go along with that, or even the figures. Today, we're going to be talking about the one and only, very underrated Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. It was hated for being very different, but I loved it. It was a psychological, yet very graphic and very brutal film about a true monster, a human that as a child felt only loved by his mother and grew up in a cruel environment where he developed cruel tendencies. This was the first time that he had lashed out at his mother, and after she committed suicide, causing Michael to become completely mute and even more inhuman. Of course, as a child, he had murdered his sister, his stepfather, and spared his younger sister, who would grow up to be Laurie Strode. As Loomis said, Michael was the result of internal and external factors gone violently wrong. And as you can see, this was the original escape scene. Well, technically not the original, but the one that was seen on DVD, the one that most people are familiar with. It's established early on in the film that Michael has a collection of masks because he quite literally hides from himself. And in his own words, he hides from his ugliness, possibly talking about internal and external ugliness, and how Michael saw himself even as a child. Michael is beyond peak human in this film, and it's clear that his motive is simply to be with his sister as he clings to any semblance of a family that he can. And he goes about it in the only way he knows how, as the violent criminal that he is, the malevolent force that he is. He murders everyone in his way until he gets to her, until she finally rejects him. Michael was much more like a mountain man or caveman, in the sense that he was the darkest corner of the human psyche, completely unfazed by modern human morals. He was much more animalistic and primal. He was rageful and very savage, barbaric and barbarous, the definition of malevolence. But he did still remain somewhat human, and he held on to some of his humanity, because though he was a slasher and a murderer, he wanted nothing more than family. Many people aren't a fan of this film because of the drastic changes to the source material, but I think if you look at it as its own take on the story, it's a pretty damn good film. Pretty amazing in my opinion. In my honest opinion, it was kind of groundbreaking for the franchise, because not only was it the first to give Michael a proper origin story, but it really fleshed Michael out and really had us feel for Michael and understand his brutality, simultaneously humanizing and demonizing Michael. I think most can agree that Michael was not undead, at least not in Rob Zombie's Halloween, but he was beyond peak human level strength and drive, and could take gunshots like it was nothing. In fact, he could snap a human neck as seen here, like this, effortlessly killing people with his bare hands. Now, as you see here, Laurie attempts to execute Michael, and instead of attacking her, when he grabs her hands as seen here, he just steadies her aim, allowing her to end his anguish, agony, and suffering. Although, of course, he was basically confirmed to come back in the second film, although that's up to interpretation. But regardless, we're not here to talk about that. There was an alternate ending to Halloween 2007 where Michael let Laurie go, only to be shot down, as seen here. It's unclear if Michael was going to go after Loomis after letting Laurie go, or if he was simply just trying to reunite with his family, the last of it. Either way, he was taken down. Although Michael in Rob Zombie's Halloween could have some kind of actual evil within him, I believe this version represents more so a misunderstood, brutish, savage killer. One who didn't choose to be what he became.